Okay, so good afternoon or evening. Today we're going to write our linear equation if we're just given the slope. And the slope, as you should know, is m. And of course it's given as a number as well. So m is going to be 2. And we're going to be given a point. And the point is going to be -3, 2. All right, so now we have slope and a point. That's not a -2. I'm going to put an arrow there so you don't think that's a -2. That's a 2. Okay, so what's our model equation? Our model equation is the slope-intercept form, which is the one you most likely remember from Algebra 1. So the slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. All right, we know what m is, so I'm just going to put it in. That's 2x plus b. Okay, now all I have to do is figure out b, and I've got the equation. So how do I know what b is? Well, I know that this point is on the line. And when x, and remember this is x, remember this is x right here. That's the x coordinate, and this is the y coordinate. So when x equals 3, -3, y equals 2. So I can put my 2 in here for y, and go like this, plus b. All right, well now I've got everything's numbers except b, so all I have to do is evaluate. So 2 equals -6 plus b, and now I add 6 to both sides to get b by itself. I want to know what b is, so that means b has to be all by itself. So that's 8 equals b. So my equation is y equals 2x plus 8. No big deal. Okay, and just to be sure that we're doing it right, just to make sure that we're not making an error, let's see if it works. So according to my calculation, if x equals -3, then y is going to equal 2. So that equals -6 plus 8. Well, yes, that does equal 2, so we're good. All right. So this is the equation that we're looking for. Okay? Okay, so now we are going to write a linear equation given 2 points. So remember, we've already been given the slope and a point. Now we're just going to be given 2 points. And the 2 points that we are given for this exercise are going to be -3, -1, and 9, 7. Okay. Okay. So, how do we find the equation of the line? Well, we're going to have to find the equation of the line by finding the slope. We need the slope. Now, I don't know if you all recall, I think some of you may recall, that when you find the slope, what you're looking for is the rise over the run. And the way we determine that is we take the second y-coordinate and we subtract from that the first y-coordinate. So we know how far up the point has moved. And then we subtract from the second x-coordinate the first x-coordinate. Sorry. Where's my eraser? There it is. That should be x sub 1. Okay. All right. So our second y coordinate is 7, and we are going to subtract from that a negative 3. And then we're going to take 9 and subtract from that the first x-coordinate, which is negative 1. So that gives us, now why I wrote that is not good. I did that bad. Okay. That's probably an error that a lot of us would like to make. This should have been a negative 1 here, and this should have been a negative 3. Okay. So this is 7 minus a minus 1, which is plus 1. So that's 8. And this is 9 minus a minus 3, which is 12. So that is reduced to 2/3. Now just parenthetically, if we go over here in the corner, we take 8/12. Just to remind you again about fractions. 8/12 is the same as 2 times 4. And 12 is the same as 3 times 4. So I can divide 4 into 4, and that's how I get the 2/3. Okay? This is called factoring. We factored the 8, and we factored the 12, and we found the greatest common factor, 4. So 4 divided by 4 is 1, and that just leaves 2/3. Okay, so that's now m. We know what our slope is. So as we did previously, we know that our basic equation is y equals mx plus b. We know what the slope is, so we can just write it in. And we know what one of the points is. So I like positive numbers, and even though I don't like 9 and 7 very well, I'll use the positive numbers to find b. So let's put that in there. So y is 7 when x is 9 plus b. Now again, I have 2/3 times 9. Well, you have to think of 9 as being over 1. So we're multiplying 2 times 9, which is 18, over 3 times 1, which is 3. So we have 7 equals 18 over 3 plus b. So 18 divided by 3 is 6. So I have 7 equals 6 plus b. All right? So now I just have to add 6 to both sides. So I get 1 minus 6. I add a minus 6. 1 equals b. So my equation is y equals 2/3, that's the slope, times x, plus 1. So now just to check and make sure I'm doing that right, I will take y equals 2/3 times 9, because I'm using that point there. Although actually I should probably use the other point. Let me use the other point. because we constructed our equation from this one, so it should work, because that's how we got there. So let's use the other point, minus 3 plus 1. So now I have negative 6 over 3 plus 1, but negative 6 over 3 is negative 2 plus 1, which equals minus 1. Well, that checks out, because that's what it says up here. Okay? All right, so now we know how to write a linear equation if we're given the slope and a point, which is back here. And if we're given 2 points, and we can write the equation. And that pretty much sums up what I wanted you to do today. Okay? So there you are.